whatever you want. I got it. Come on.
Whatever you want, I got it. Baby, let me give it to you. Whatever you need, I got it. You need to know anything. You just ask and I'll provide. Whatever you want, I got it, got it.
Finish strong.
Hello. Hello. Welcome to Looking for Love. I'm your host, Trey Kearney. This is my co-host,
Lamar Hall.
We're here every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the New U Nation Network YouTube channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you are on YouTube right now, tap the screen, say hello, put your comments up, and we'll bring them up on the screen. If you are enjoying what you're seeing tonight, hit the thank you button underneath the screen and give us a super, and we'll appreciate you. Hey, Lamar, how is your week going?
Going very well. I have been very productive this week, I must say. So,
good. Well.
how's your week?
My week is going good. I can't complain. Just been running around working, getting the back end of the business done. You know, trying to bring on some new people to do some editing stuff, so I don't have to do it. We have another viral video that has over 200,000 views on Instagram, which I don't know why, I'm just surprised, but I'm just like, this is not the video that I expect to go viral.
Right.
But every time I think that, it happens. So that was a little eventful, and we're going to talk about that tonight. So we're going to get right into it because we have that viral video, and it got so much burn, and people are still talking about, they still going back and forth right now. So me and Lamar are going to discuss it because there were some comments that were a little off the hook. So let's pull a video up and then we'll discuss. Men, we always hear this thing, you know, women be waiting 5, 10, 3, 7, 25 years for somebody to marry them. And then we hear men say, I knew it from the first day I laid eyes on her. One, do you know it from the first time or really soon after that you met this person that this is the one for you? Are we waiting too long? Because does a man really know? And what was it about your wife that just made you say, this is it for me?
I'll hop in and start. So I think every man is different, right? I think every man has an agenda. I think it takes a level of maturity for a man to tell you the truth, right? And so for me, I was very immature at the time when I met Elaine, and I was doing my thing. So I had an agenda. All right. And what I realized is that the most attractive thing that a woman can do is own her magnificence and her beauty and everything that she's worth. Right. And when a woman understands her worth, I just find that so attractive. And what happened was I was dating Elaine and trying to date about 5 or 6 other females at the same time. And then one day Elaine dumped me. And she was just like, you know what? I said, you're not going to dump me because I'm Daryl. You can't dump me. I swore she was going to call me back the next day. I was like, she be all right. She'll get over it tomorrow. She'll give me a call. And then when I realized she wouldn't call me back, I was like, wait a minute. She really not going to call the kid. Like,
my block game's strong, y'all.
So I ended up calling her and I was like, yo, you really not going to do this with me? She's like, no, I need you to understand. Like, I know where you're at, but I know my worth. I know what I'm capable of, and I'm looking for a king. And so, like, if you want to have your agenda, go have your agenda. But I know my worth. So when the king comes and find me, don't be upset. Yo, I lied to you not. I called everybody in the black book and was like, look, it's over. I cut off every last woman I was dealing with. I called Elaine back and I was like, yo, you made me man up. You made me mature, and you made me a better man and made me realize I'm about to miss out on a queen. And so again, like women, if you're out there, like, know your worth. If you know you're a queen, don't deal with no nonsense. The king will come. You know, when you operate like a queen, the king will come, guaranteed. And so I'm grateful that my queen chose me because I almost lost her.
So this is one of the comments that was on there, and it says, problem, men have no business playing around with 5 and 6 women at a time with ill intentions at using the approach. Yeah, with ill intentions at that. Using the approach, let me see who won't allow me to use them, is vile. He didn't even deserve his wife. Also, maturity is a word that is thrown around and often misused, replaced describing someone with questionable character integrity. He was just as intentional about pursuing his wife as he was about using the women before her. So, Lamar, let's discuss this. First of all, you say this all the time, and I appreciate you. I appreciate your honesty. But you say all the time that most men have 4 or 5 women in their roster until they find the one.
Absolutely.
So I think that women have, and I say this all the time too, women have this misconception about dating, that when you're dating somebody, they're your man. He said I was dating Elaine and 4 or 5 other women. He didn't say I was in a relationship with Elaine. And because there was a lot of women on there, oh, he was cheating on her. You can't cheat on somebody that you haven't made a commitment to. So I just want you to talk a little bit about that from the male perspective. One, does a man know? And how come his mentality shifted like that?
Well, I mean, kudos to that dude. I mean, he's speaking in a very mature point of view that not a lot of men have that point of view, which requires you to be honest. So that's first and foremost to him. It is a situation where a man will know. I don't know first sight, any of those things, but I think you know within 6 months to a year. And I think you have, and it just depends on where you are in your path in your life as well. So if it's your first marriage and that, you're young and you're under 35, I don't know, you might want to give it a little time. If you're older and our generation X, which what we are, you're probably moving a little faster. 6 months to a year, you'll see qualities. Well, you should know the qualities that you're looking for. So I think you will know definitely by a year. I don't know very many people at my age that's having these long engagements and things of that nature. People getting married pretty quick. So I think at 53, I know. So
I think too, like the post that I put up, I said, men are not the problem, we are. And when I said that, so many women got up in arms because they didn't listen to the context of what I was saying. Because we as women, and I don't mean to badger us or bash us as women, but we as women, we listen to respond instead of listening to understand. Because my point was, we're the problem because when a man shows you, like Daryl showed Elaine, I'm dating this amount of men, and then Elaine decided, I'm not going to be the problem in the situation and allow this man to date 4 or 5 women. I'm going to make a conscious decision and I'm going to say what I need to say to this man and say, it's cool that you're dating 4 or 5 women, because she wasn't mad at him or anything. So it's cool for you to date 4 or 5 women, but I'm not going to be a part of it. So that's what I meant when I said that women are the problem, because we know that a man is dating 4 or 5 women. We see the red flags and we continue to date when we have every right to walk away, like Elaine did. Like she said, you can have your agenda, and when a king come to find me, don't be mad. And this is what I meant by we are the problem, because so many men are really transparent and sloppy. I'm sorry, Lamar. I don't mean to talk about y'all, but men are transparent and they sloppy. You could tell by a man's moves if you're the only one. You could tell by a man's moves if a man is not committing to you and you don't walk away. Why are we blaming men? So the comments that these women were having, that he was a cheater, she should have never gave him another chance. This is why so many women are bitter and single, because instead of them listening and saying, you know what, we are the problem. Because when that dude comes along that has 4 or 5 women, or that dude comes along that doesn't want to commit, why am I coming 2 or 3 years later saying he wasted my time? No, you wasted your time. You wasted your time. And for them to pick Daryl apart was, again, I'm sorry, it's that accountability thing for women. They would rather pick him apart. And there was a lot of women that said kudos to him. So let me give it up to those women that said kudos to him. Because they were like, yes, brother, yes, that's right. You don't want to lose out on the queen. You made a conscious decision, you taught the black book. But the bitter ones, I have to say this to you women. The bitter women that had negative comments to that beautiful story, you need to go heal. Because you clearly need some help. No, seriously, because again, Lamar, because I go on a date with you don't mean you my man. Because I go on 20 dates with you don't mean that you my man.
You got to have the conversation because two people have to be on the same page and be ready to commit to one another. Once you start having those conversations, yeah, you're moving in that direction. But until then, you know, you're dating. I mean, I think what women immediately think is dating is having sex. Y'all can listen. Y'all control who y'all have sex with. I mean, you do. That's why I don't understand this comment. It's like, and I don't know. Maybe I'm not the type of guy that's gonna be, come on, baby, come on, come on, come on. Come on." I'm not that dude. So if you are allowing a man to get in between your legs over that kind of conversation, do you really want that dude? I mean, you are the gatekeeper. So why are you complaining on how you're getting treated? I mean, that's just game. I mean, I think there's a small element of women out there who think that they can maneuver like men and they can have sex with men like that, like they're hurting us or something. But those women are mostly not attractive, so you're okay. So you don't have promiscuous, beautiful women. Let me just say it though.
Unless you're
very
a superhead.
very few, but it's just
And just again, just to be clear and just give a definition of dating. Dating is collecting data, getting to know somebody to see if you want to go to the next level. So it is not a crime for a man or a woman to date multiple people at one time as long as we're open and honest with each other to say, I'm saying I'm dating. We're just I'm taking you on a date. And again, I have to tell the men, just be clear with women from this point on. If you've been on 3 dates with a woman, have a conversation with her if you're dating other women. And you don't have to say, I'm dating other women. Just have a conversation to let her know in a gentle way that you ain't the only one. Because we are assuming, I'm telling y'all brothers right now, and like Lamar said, if we give you some coochie, we go together. No, I'm telling you, if you get some of this, you my man. So you need to be clear not to take none from me. Because at the end of the day, if any type of body fluid is swapped, I'm not even kissing you if we ain't together. At 55, don't kiss me. Like, listen, not there. We date, we are, and again, Lamar, you right. We let these men kiss on us. We let these men feel on us. We let these men sleep with us because we're assuming that we are in a relationship. No, I'm not. You cannot do certain things to me until we have exclusivity. Because if you're out dating 4 or 5 women, and you have every right, because there are women that are sleeping with men who date 4 or 5 women because they're clear on that. So if you are a person who desires monogamy and you are out dating, understand, ladies, this is for y'all too. If a man has not had a conversation with you about being exclusive and that you're the only one, then you're not. You're not. And ladies, Lamar tells us this all the time. Listen to, I call him my big little brother because I'm older than him. I'll slap him around if he gets feisty. But my big little brother always tell me, Trey, you should be dating multiple men. You shouldn't have all your eggs in one basket. Why are you dating? I prefer to date one person at a time, but understand that's my choice. So if the man that I'm dating is dating 4 or 5 people, I can't be mad at him.
So I'm gonna give you a nugget. This is a great. The comparison just popped in my head. Dating one person at a time It's like going to the grocery store. You got to make spaghetti, but you can only buy one item at a time.
Ooh. You ain't gonna have no spaghetti.
It's gonna take you a long ass time to make some spaghetti, man. Like, come on, like you gotta go get it, pay for it, take it all the way home, put it in the refrigerator, and then go back to the store.
Right. No, we're gonna get all our stuff in. We're gonna get the spaghetti sauce, the green peppers, the onions.
You got listen. A man will let you know when you are his. He will let you know. And the goal. They said. That's why I tell women all the time. If y'all knew what other women won't do, what they are not designed this day and age to do, you rise to the top so quick. It's just like being soft and feminine and just listening to a man and just I mean he's got to be a good dude too. I don't know any bad dudes. Like my circle of dudes, I can't say that these are bad dudes. Every one of them are good fathers and stuff like that. So I don't know. They're out there. I would hope at over 50 years old.
But this is the problem too, Lamar. And I put up my other video today. Women always tell me, I ain't in competition with nobody. Yes, you are. The reality of the situation is y'all don't like the word competition. But when a man is dating women, when people are dating, we are all in competition. Lamar, the men that I'm dating, if I'm dating a man, even on the dating sites, I'm not on them, but there's competition. People are reading to see where we're compatible, what you do. We are in competition to get the attention of a person. You are in competition, lady. So stop thinking that you don't have to do nothing to get a man because I'm not in competition. And this is why, and y'all gonna be mad, this is gonna ruffle some feathers. This is why side chicks is winning. Cause y'all not even in the ring, wives, girlfriends. I'm sorry, but y'all are not even doing what you're supposed to do. And it's not competition. It's a matter of there are things that are required to be in a relationship with a man. There are things that are required to be in a relationship with a woman. So there is competition. So y'all got to stop saying, I ain't competing with nobody. If she want them, she can have them. Oh, and she gonna get them because she gonna do what she got to do to get that man. And this means your husband too. You are speechless.
I mean, I love it to hear women in any place just to speak up for men because women have no idea what it feels like to be a man. And I think you get a little bit of a taste of it as women get a little bit older. You get treated like a man pretty much his whole entire life. Is that you can't, because you guys rely on looks so much. So as you get older, no, you can't rely on those looks anymore. Now you got to start looking on inside. No, I'm just saying you're cute. I'm just saying the 55-year-old version of you can't get the same date with the same guy as 25-year-old you.
Who can? This young kid is chasing. No, I'm just messing with you, Lamar.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things is that women have to refine themselves because if you just, let's be truth be told, Trey, you take care of yourself.
Yes.
If we put you in a room with your age group,
you're right.
Yeah. I'm saying so it's the message that people in our age really need to understand. When are you going to stop lying to yourself and start taking care of yourself? Because the quicker you start taking care of yourself, your worth start coming back because it's the things that other people aren't doing. So,
and I look at other women who are 55 and 60 and 62, the women that you send me that are in shape, that are 70. I look at them and I have to step my game up because they are my competition. I'm like, I done seen some 65-year-old women that go to the gym, that work out, that eat right, that juice, that take care of themselves. And I'm like, yo, you better step your game up if you want the husband to pick you.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we all are. We're all in a situation, pick me type of situation, through social media and stuff like that. So if you're out of shape, if you're not, healed and you haven't worked on yourself and no accountability, that man, you're falling down the list. Like them, all of them is weights on your legs. They're just drowning you underwater. You ain't gonna get picked. So that's what I'm saying is that people got to start growing and start looking in the mirror and really take accountability. And that energy, once you start healing, that stuff, it'll come off you, and you'll start to attract people that have healed as well. And you'll start to go like, okay, and because I can see it in a woman that's been healed and done. I don't even have to ask them now. I can feel it so well now. It's like I don't even have to ask if you've been in therapy. I can tell.
Wow. So if you just tuned in, you're tuned into Looking for Love. We're here every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the New You Nation Network YouTube channel. If you are on YouTube, hit the thank you button below to support us. Put your comments in. We'll put them on the screen. Let's shout a few people out. Hey, we got Nicole Jones in the building. Saw y'all live. Hopped in to say have a great show. Thank you, Nicole. We appreciate you. We got Maritza here. Having sons changed my view. I know that's right, Maritza. Thank y'all so much for being here. We love it when you put your comments on the screen. Go ahead, Lamar. You were going to say something.
No, that's good. I mean, that's what it said. At the end of the day, the woman that you are, Kevin Samuel said it all the time. He said, the woman you are, would you allow your son? Would you be like, yeah, this is the woman you should marry, son. This is the woman you should be with. If the answer is no, then you need to do work on yourself. That's accountability. You can't change your situation, but you can heal from it and you can make the best for it. And as long as you recognize it and you can say, hey, I know I did this and this is not, then you can cater your happiness towards that situation. And a lot of people don't want to do that.
A lot of people don't want to do the work. So we're going to get to some of our comments from YouTube and just discuss them a little bit because we don't want to leave our people out who support us on YouTube. And I see your comments there. So this week I went into the comments. We're going to go back to our What Would You Do segment next week where we answer our viewers' questions. So if you have any questions that you would like us to answer about relationships, please send them to info@newunationnetwork.com, info@newunationnetwork.com, and we will read them live. We will tell you what we will do. And our viewers who watch weekly, they'll put their comments in and let you know what they would do too. So let's look at one of these comments. Oh, that's not it. Hold on for 1 second. Let me find the comment here. Got lots of slides. Hold on. Let me get to the one I want. This one right here. Here we go. This one says, hi. This was from one of our other shows where we were talking about strippers. Well, she said, hold on. Let's take that back. She said, hi, I have a question not related to this podcast, but what should I do if my partner says he loves me but secretly chats with other females? When I do ask, he switches it over on me. He will make changes and then he will go back to doing the same thing. Lamar?
Well, I mean, have y'all had a discussion? I mean, are y'all living together? Are y'all monogamous? I mean, where are you at in your relationship that, you're wanting this? So if you've been together for quite some time and he's still done it and you've had discussions about it, red flags, man. I mean, when do you see it and do you pivot? What is making you stay?
Don't.
No, I'm not telling you what to do, but it's just like what is making you stay and make you go, I caught you. It's like, okay, you caught me. Then you catch me again. You catch me again. You catch me again. It's like.
Yeah, that is a good question, Lamar. And this is when I talk to my clients who say they're in toxic relationships, right? I always say to people, if you're and I talked about this morning too on my live, if you're in a toxic relationship, whether it's your job, if you're in a toxic work environment, if you're in a toxic relationship with a man or woman, it's because you're getting something out of it. So I want her to ask herself, what is keeping you? What are you getting out of this situation that would allow you to allow a man to abuse you that is talking to other women and you have had this conversation, he's come back to you and he's been nice, changed up for a few weeks, and then went back to doing the same thing. Again, I keep telling, and this is why we had this whole discussion on that last video. Men are not the problem. We are. We keep allowing the BS, and then we want to blame men, and vice versa for men. When a man is with a woman that ain't sleeping with him, she not the problem. You are. Because why you staying with a woman that's neglecting you? If she ain't cooking,
Yeah, I mean, it's like you gotta have these conversations of what is your happiness attached to, and you know,
hey, hold on, you can't just go past that.
what?
Say that again.
What did I say?
What is your happiness attached to?
Yeah, I mean, it's like what are you trying to?
Ooh,
I mean, what like? Okay, if it's sex or whatever, you like listen, you gotta figure that out, and there should be zero tolerance when it comes to your happiness and peace.
Miss Maritza said he has lost respect. Come through with the come through, Maritza.
It's just like, I mean, why at this age? I mean, again, we all made some silly decisions in past relationships, but at this age,
yeah,
you still on the fence about if somebody's treating you right and if you should stay or go, and I'm talking both ways. If, like you said, not getting sex and
but you're getting something else out of that situation.
Correct. So it's like, why would anybody at this age be unhappy?
Because you're getting something fulfilled. And once you realize, right? I told you before, I stayed in a relationship way too long because the penis was good.
Yeah.
I
was waiting for that topic because I'm saying I looked at a picture close too. I was like, she looked like she stayed for some good penis.
No, I'm serious. There was something. The relationship I was in was toxic. It really was. But I had to ask myself, what is keeping you here? And what I found out along the journey was that there was, excuse me, Lord, but there was better penis out there once I released that one.
Oh, I love it. I love you.
So if the woman, you have to figure out why you're staying in a toxic relationship. So if it's the sex, if this person helps take care of your kids, if the person is financially paying the bills, then you have to say, I can make my own money, and you can get out of that situation once you figure out what is keeping me here in this toxic relationship. What am I getting out of this that I think I can't fulfill myself? Like I said, I found out there was good, better, right? So I didn't have to go back.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Lamar.
I'm looking at some of the comments. So
You can read them.
Karen Malone says she's a new member. Welcome. And somebody said, from the last comment, he lost respect. And Karen said, excellent subject that matters and stays relevant. Yeah.
Okay, so what should she do, Lamar?
I mean, leave. I mean, this sounds like this has already happened more than once. So, I mean, at this point, are you getting what you want? Or are you begging? Are you being tolerated? I think we have to really learn to go where we're celebrated, not where we're tolerated. And that doesn't always fit your criteria of what you think you deserve. It's like once we start learning to be with the person that appreciates you for being you and has genuine love for you, I mean, what more can you really want? All right, I'll read some more comments. But yeah, I would definitely walk away from that situation. She's already seen what he's doing. And once you see it, you should be able to move on quickly.
Yes, so ladies, again, men are not the problem, we are. And not only that, and vice versa. Whenever you're in a situation, you have control over you. We don't have control over other people. So if this man wants to behave the way he's behaving, you don't have control over him. You can't change him. The only thing you can do is change the situation for you. And that's making a hard decision to say, this person doesn't have my best interest at heart, so I need to leave. So thank you, Karen, for becoming a new member. We see your green letters. That's nice. And Maritza, thank you guys for being members of the New You Nation Network. So we're going to get to another comment. If you just tuned in, you're tuned into Looking for Love. We're here every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the New You Nation Network YouTube channel. If you are enjoying yourself, there's a thank you button underneath the video where you can click on that and you can donate, contribute, and help us keep this thing going. So let's look at our next question. Let me see if I pulled it up right. This is my first time doing this, so let's see. That's us. Who's the question?
Yeah, that was the first one.
Okay. Maybe I didn't pull the other one up. That's horrible. Hold on, maybe this is it here. Hold on, folks, for 1 minute. Oops. You're gonna pull it up, right? Now. This is it.
Kathleen,
you are funny. Oh, here it is. Okay. Can you see that, Lamar? You want to read it?
Yep. You want me to read it?
Yep.
I am a 52-year-old guy with an 8-year-old daughter. So, as you can imagine, I stay for her. The loving is 1 time a month or less. I have had to learn to live with it. It's not easy. The late night tears. I will never let my wife see me cry. It will only fuel her. 14 years wasted, 10 years. Oh, go back. 10 years until I can leave. Here's hoping things will get better, but knowing they will not.
This is because people think that, somebody told me I must be making up these questions. These are real life scenarios. This man has a daughter. And a lot of times people will say, why don't you just leave, right? So I have so much compassion and empathy for men, because what man, and Lamar, you were in the situation, what man wants to leave his home because the woman is not doing what she's supposed to do? Why don't she have to leave? Why don't you leave me with my daughter so I can get up every morning, dress her, take her to school? We have to stop thinking that men don't love their kids as much as women. So
I think there was a generation like my father, that generation, were they baby boomers? What are they that was a generation that lost their fathers, and then they were lost. But I think my generation, Generation X, we are the generation of fathers that was like, man, enough is enough. Because like I said, I don't know deadbeat dads. Out of all the guys I've ever run encounter with, I don't know any deadbeat dads. And our whole generation, and particularly black men, has really like stepped up and said, that's not you can't use that anymore. Because there's I really like rack my brain and go like, do I know any deadbeat dads? I don't. I really don't. And I'm 53 years old. So it's like,
and it's just it's sad that this man is in a basically sexless marriage and he has an 8-year-old. So he has 10 years of dealing with this. And we have to hold women accountable. Not that anybody can make her do anything, but we have to change the narrative of, why don't you leave since you don't want to do your wifely duties? Because why should he have to get up and say, enough is enough, I'm not doing this anymore, but have to leave his home, his man cave, his bathroom, his closet, his garage, his driveway, his grass? Why should he have to get up and leave because she's not doing what she's supposed to do? I don't understand that. And this man said, I have to suffer through this for my child. That is so unfair.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, and then now he's talking about being 62 years old, getting back out there single.
but he don't really have a choice.
He doesn't. But I mean, it's sad. It's just that.
And this man said, I cry at night. I just want people to understand these are real life scenarios.
I mean, and listen, I remember getting to the point where you go like, it can't get no worse. So I'm just getting ready to just start wilding out here. I'm just gonna walk in with in my hand, be like, hey, like it's just I'm gonna start saying something. Everybody has their breaking point, and I remember I didn't care anymore. I just started saying all kind of wild shit. And I was just like, I don't care about your feelings no more. You didn't care about mine, so why am I care about your feelings anymore? So every man has his own breaking point. He's just got to take a hard, deep breath and man the F up, because he's got to sit down with her and be like, listen, this ain't 10 more years of that.
But
He's got to fix that situation because he don't want to wait 10 years to get back out there doing that.
Can I just say this too? And I'm never promoting divorce or anything like that, but can I say kids are resilient. Like kids would rather see you in a happy home separated because he doesn't understand. Maybe you're setting the blueprint for your child to see that this is a loveless household. Kids are watching. So this child is learning that it's okay to not be affectionate to each other, that this child can tell that you're unhappy. So it bothers me when I hear parents saying, I'm just staying for the kids when it's an unhealthy environment, because the kids are being taught that this is the way relationships are. So they go into a relationship when they get older and they're cold and they're distant. Or if the situation where somebody's cheating, then they go into a relationship, boys go thinking that it's okay to cheat because you're setting the blueprint for this child who is going to have to unlearn, unfortunately, and reparent themselves when they realize that dysfunction is not normal. And I'm speaking because I had to do it. The things that I saw when I was growing up, I would talk to men any old kind of crazy way because that's the way my mommy and my aunties were. They talk to men, they cuss men out. My mother cursed my stepfather out. My aunts cussed their men out. They came home all times of night. Don't tell me what to do. That's what I thought was normal. And it didn't go well in relationships with men. But I had to unlearn those things and say, like you said, I have to be feminine. And so if I have to let the man lead, but that's not the blueprint that I saw.
What was the breaking point? When did the light bulb go off for you?
After my marriage was destroyed by infidelity on my part. Because my parents' marriage ended because of infidelity on my mother's part. And I never thought about those things because it was like none of my business until I actually walked my mother's whole path. Like if I sit down and look and I talk about my life, I did exactly most of the same bad things that my mom did. Like my mom had a baby with another man. God rest her soul. But the truth of the matter is children are watching and they're learning and they're thinking that this is okay. And it's not. So if you're staying for your kids, you are setting them up for failure. And I really had to unlearn a lot of things that I saw my mom do in order to now at 55 years old, now I'm ready to be somebody's wife. I wasn't ready to be nobody's wife when I was 21. I got married when I was 21. I wasn't ready to be nobody's girlfriend when I left my marriage because I hadn't done any work on myself my whole life until disaster happened and I started to be around people who were better in themselves. And I looked at some people who had healthy relationships and I said, oh my God, dysfunction is not normal. But it's normal when it's the only normal that you know.
And the same thing is, like you said, infidelity is always a sign of a bigger problem. It's like the miscommunication, the lack of appreciation, things that, and, as a man, you don't hear compliments. Not that you crave them, but you really don't ever hear them. I mean, I started going to the gym and working out, so I would look better than her crushes that she was looking at on TV. She's Google, all over, this guy, that guy. Ooh, I'm like, okay, let me get in the gym.
Wow.
And never heard a compliment.
Wow.
Ever.
Ladies, compliment y'all. If you have a good man, and again, nobody's perfect. If you have a decent man at home that takes care of home, pays the bills, comes home, takes care of his kids, spend time with his kids, pays attention to you. If he is taking care, say thank you. Tell him I appreciate you. Tell him you smell good, you look good. I promise you, because the women on the job.
I'm telling you, just sit him down one day and just look into his eyes and go, I just want to just quiet the noise and just tell you, thank you. We appreciate you.
Wow.
I mean, you would get a man just to glow, because you'd be like, what in the world is going on here? And it's the little things. It's all a man needs. It's just you get out back. That's just enough for him to get back out there and go, see, this is why I'm out here handling this business, because of that. That gives him the strength to deal when that bullshit comes to him. And he's just like, man, and this is just a job. I would do what I got to do. But when I go home, that's what I'm going home to. I'm looking forward to going home because it's peaceful there. I know I'm loved there. I know I'm respected there. No matter how you feel about me out here, when I walk through that door, they appreciate me.
Wow. If you just tuned in, you're tuned into Looking for Love. We're here every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the New U Nation Network YouTube channel. We would love for you to subscribe to the New U Nation Network YouTube channel, share, and hit the bell. If you are watching right now live, under the screen there is a thank you button. We would appreciate if you would hit that thank you button and contribute to our mission. So we're going to get to our celebrity relationship news. Let's sip on that. Hold on now. Let's bring this up.
Video is going viral right now because this sexual tension between Usher and this lady is crazy. I didn't put Auntie Please on here. That was already on the video. But Lord, it was almost uncomfortable for me. I had to turn away the first couple times. I said I can't do it because y'all look like y'all finna do something that adults do. She wants to be ushered into his presence. Look at the tension. Look at what she's been to risk it all. She could have a husband at home. She could have kids. She could have single. There is only Usher in this moment. Look at the body roll. Okay, look at her eyes. Usher could get her taxes right now, and he don't need it. Look at the lady behind her. Yeah, this is great. Let me record this. My name is Sharon. My name is Tasha. Well, probably not Tasha because she was white. But anyway, and she got the shooting sleeve on her arm. She going to triple-double tonight. Look at the intense stare. Usher, do with me what you will. Are y'all going to kiss her? Oh, stand up. Stand up. Oh, see the cherries. I feel like I shouldn't be watching. Because they be pretending it's balls. That's balls lick. She pretending that's balls. She trying to show them how to do something with it with the maraschino. Maraschino, file a cease and desist.
Now, listen, I'm all for entertainment. I really am all for entertainment. But Usher's a married man, and that was the most inappropriate. The other ones were too much for me too. But this one right here, that was disrespectful to his wife. And I know you said it's entertainment and it's another world they live in. But at some point, when do you, as a woman, not disrespect his wife? Because I would never do that. I would never, ever, if I went to an Usher concert and he came to me with those cherries, I promise you I would slap the cup out of his hand, because I would not disrespect his wife like that. That woman knows that Usher's married. And this is why I have a problem with women, no matter what. If Usher took her backstage, she would go. You speechless?
No, I tell you all the time, entertainers are weird ass people, man. Listen, his wife, this is his third marriage. So
he gonna be on his fourth and his fifth.
he'll just keep doing this every 5 to 6 years. Usher is trying to reinvent himself. This is money. This is to get women to, every woman thinks that they have the opportunity to lick some cherries when they come to the concert.
But listen,
that's just the business he's in.
But this is the thing right here. His concerts are going to sell out regardless of the cherries. That is just disrespectful to his wife. This is all I'm saying.
The cherries make him desirable. It's a different type of interaction. So that's why
very desirable though. But this is the thing too for me. He was desirable to me. I love Usher and Neo. I'm an Usher and Neo-aholic. But the level of their disgustingness now, Usher never had to put a cherry in his mouth for me to want to be at his concert screaming like a groupie that I am. He was already Usher that grew up and like, oh, Usher could get it now. You know, he a grown world man. But the level of disrespect and vulgarity is so disturbing to me that I don't even want to listen to his music. My favorite song in the whole wide world is Burned by Usher. That's my favorite song in the whole world. I don't even want to listen to it now because I have lost all respect for him as a husband and a father.
That's who they are, man. They do not play by the same set of rules that most people play by. So it's like the marriages, they don't care. We already see, just peeking behind the curtain, the underbelly of what this world really looks like. So it's like, to want to be famous and at some point be at the top of your industry's game, you can only imagine what Usher has seen and done with Diddy, man. He's damaged, so you can't expect bad behavior from somebody who can't be rehabilitated. Usher, he said it. He said it. Would you let your sons hang out with Diddy? He was like, hell no. So it's just different, It's just like what's normal to him is not normal to us.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but still, that was just over the top and vulgar. Like the dude that was talking said, I'm uncomfortable watching this. You know what I'm saying? When people start to say, I'm uncomfortable watching it, it's entertainment is great, but when people start to say, I'm uncomfortable watching this, that's a problem. And Will Smith had a little video out with some Spanish woman that he has a new song with. I think she's Spanish. And he was dancing with her and everybody was going crazy. That's inappropriate. Look at him. What's wrong with him? But y'all are okay with Usher having women lick cherries like they balls? I'm so lost. I'm just like, why am I the only one?
Double standard. It's just like, I don't know.
It's just...
Maritza says, why get married? So, it's entertainment. He doesn't look at it. It's like playing a role in a movie and you're having sex with somebody. They don't view it. Most of us would not be okay with that. They're okay with it.
No, most of us would not be okay with
it. I dated an actress, and I remember she was up for Jason's Lyric, and I was just like, "Whoa, hold on, what's his sex scene?" I'm like, I don't know about this.
But there is a level, right? There is boundaries that we don't cross. Like for people to say that I'm uncomfortable is a whole level of just disrespect. And it was another woman he did it with too, and it was just like, yo, you just doing too much now. And like I said, I've just lost all respect for him because you have a wife.
They're purposely, if you looked at where he's going at, those tickets probably cost more than anywhere else because that's where he goes and that's where he does that whole setup and that's where he probably makes a good portion of his money from his concerts. So he's playing the situation up. You gotta, it's like you can't go into a strip club and be mad that you spent some money. It's what you went there for. You know what you're signing up for when you go, and you know what you're potentially wanting to happen. Now, if you're married and this is a fantasy and you talk it over with your husband and he grants you a hall pass.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
But it's
I ain't granting my husband a hall pass. You listen. Let me tell you this. Let me just say this. If I have a husband, we're gonna know. He gonna know if it's Janet or Beyonce, whoever. If they start giving out lap dances, you move yourself over to the other side of the room. That's what you do. Because I'm right
he
now.
can't get if they pick him at a concert. He can't go up there.
No, not if it's inappropriate. Not if they want him to lick cherries like he's eating vagina. No, they bring the cherries over to you. You better turn your head and walk away.
Yeah,
You see all the drama.
you know what? I don't even want to. I don't even want to. I won't even be taken the wrong way. So if I'm married and they come and pick me,
no, right?
Because I already know it's gonna get inappropriate, and then I gotta explain, and
it's gonna be all over the internet.
It's just easy to say, "I'm good. Go to the next dude."
Somebody else, right?
I don't need that attention.
What I'm saying. Look what happened to Keke Palmer and her boyfriend and her man because of that.
Doing too much.
Again, if that didn't stop Usher, knowing that you disrupted somebody's whole life, you disrupted their whole entire life, and you still doing it. And that woman that was on there though, they said her husband left her.
Good, because she was humping Usher's soul, man. I'm like, holy cow! I was just like, should we leave? Should I be looking at this? Like,
Usher's soul.
It was inappropriate. Like, I mean, if you're single, it was inappropriate. The fact that you're married is way out of bounds. I mean, she was.
She had an orgasm.
Her face. She would give him the stare and the glance of like, "I'm gonna eat you up, dog." Like he was in trouble. Usher, man. I don't.
Just tuned into Looking for Love. We're here every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the New You Nation Network YouTube channel. Please subscribe, share, and make sure you hit the bell for notifications so you know when we go live. Now we're going to get to our next segment, which is our health and wellness segment, Beauty and the Beast, where we give you a health and wellness tip of the week, and we hope that you will use it. Here is our disclaimer. Anything that we share with you, check with your doctor before you change anything in your diet, before you take any medication, before you take any advice off of the internet or from Looking for Love show. We are not telling you to do anything without checking with your physician. Lamar?
I got one thing. I did not know this. It blew my mind because as I'm getting older, my memory is suspect. And I found this thing that says sniffing rosemary can increase your memory by 75%.
Oh, I got some rosemary upstairs.
All these memories coming back. Like, you know what? I even got to the age where I don't even try to fight the memory. I'll be talking to my dad, and my dad, he's the type of person, he'll just throw you a wandering guess. You know, it'd be like, man, what's the name of that light-skinned dude in the NBA? I'm like, what? Like, what? Like, I said, no, you're not even going to do that to my brain.
I said, I need a whole tree.
I'm about to have rosemary everything. I'm taking candles, everything. I'm ready to be Googling rosemary candles.
Have the little rosemary car thing.
Yeah, I'm telling you, cologne.
Rosemary cologne. Rosemary on your wrist. I have rosemary essential oil. I do remember them saying something about that. I do remember.
I had no idea. I mean, what is it? Is that rosemary you put in your shower when you stand in the shower? And
rosemary, yep.
Oh, okay. I'm almost ready to move in my bathroom, so I'm gonna get some rosemary hanging in the shower.
Yes. So my health and wellness tip is, if you are taking D3 vitamins, right? Because I haven't been feeling like myself, and I'm trying to figure out why I'm taking my D3 vitamins. But if you're taking D3 vitamins, you also need to take a D3 vitamin with K2. The reason why you have to take the D3 with the K2 is so that the D3 goes into the right places, the calcium and everything. Because if you're not taking D3 with K2, you're not getting the benefits because the vitamins are not being distributed to where they need to go. So if you're taking D3 without the K2 together, you might as well not take the D3 because it ain't going to the right places. And you'll have calcium build up in the wrong places in your joints and stuff, even in your organs. I looked it up. This is what I looked up today because I was trying to figure out, because I take vitamin D every day. And I'm like, why am I feeling tired? Blah, blah, blah. And I was just looking up stuff. And this is what came up. And I was talking to my girl, Netta. If you're interested in holistic healing, check out Holistically Motivated on Instagram. I'm not getting paid for this. She's a wealth of knowledge, and I had sent her a picture of some D3K2 vitamins. She suggested another brand because she's all natural. But she said, yes, you're right. You do not need to don't take D3 tray without K2 because you are not getting the benefits. And I did not know that. I thought I was doing something.
Wow, that's dope.
Every day.
What do you think is too many pills in one day?
Oh, I don't know. I know a lot of people that have to take a lot of pills in one day. I think you would, if you spread them out, like you take 4 in the morning, 4 in the evening, 4 in the afternoon, 4 in the evening. Like if you had to take a lot of pills, I would say that I would not take them all together.
Yeah, I don't want to take it. I used to work with this guy. He would take like 15 pills all at once.
Oh no, I'm not.
I mean, he would do it in groups of 5. But I'm just like, all it's just sitting in your stomach, and it's.
I would ask the doctor. Like I would take.
How does your body absorb?
Right.
That? It's like I don't know.
That's why I said I would take. If I had to take 12 pills, I would say I would take 4 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon, 4 in the evening. And of course, I would look to see which ones is best to take at night so it don't keep me up, and which ones are best to take in the morning and midday. So I would spread them out.
I've been consistently taking zinc and the magnesium. Those are the 2 that I do consistently take.
Okay.
So, and you know what? I actually, I talk about, doing Kegels and all that type of stuff for men and stuff. And I see an improvement. I really do. In the cayenne pepper shots, I do that in my, I drink Ensure every morning.
Oh, okay. Well, look at you. So, again, if you just tuned in, you're tuned to Looking for Love. We're here every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to get to our final thoughts. What is your final thought, Lamar?
You know what? As we, coming up on a year and a half, it's crazy to think that it's the amount of people in Generation X that just refuse to do the work, whether it's through accountability or going to therapy or this, it's just still, when are you going to say, hey, I truly want change? And being in, whether it's sexless marriages or, whatever, is it, when you got to work on yourself first, then you can demand better. If you don't work on you, you can't go to your wife or your husband and be like, hey, you ain't having sex with me. You might be like, oh, you fat, So I mean, it's like you got to take the hard look at yourself. Are you doing the things to make yourself desirable? Are you doing the things that make yourself be respected? Are you doing the things that make yourself be admired? And I hope that, like, if it's one person at a time that we reach, is this that men and women is like, know your red flags, know that you got to work on yourself and be willing to walk away and go do that work on yourself. Because every day, guys, I mean, we are really getting into that realm of age where every day you open your eyes, you should be thankful, because it is not promised. And you're going to start losing some people close to you, and you're just starting to let too much time go by. And it ain't what life is about. It ain't about gathering things. It ain't about nothing but being the best version of yourself and hopefully creating some memories and sharing something with somebody that you care about.
My final thought is, nobody can do anything to you that you don't allow. Take ownership of your life and stop playing the blame game. and everybody will be happy. Again, we are good at blaming other folks. You did this, you did that. And the truth of the matter is, the only reason why you're going through what you're going through is because you're allowing it and you have not taken authority over your life. So that's my final thought. Own your
We are
ish.
right on time.
Own your ish. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see y'all next week, same time, same station. New U Nation Network. Please subscribe, share. Sharing is caring. And don't forget to hit that bell for notifications. My name's Trey Kearney. You can find me at Trey Kearney on Instagram. And this is my co-host,
Lamar Hall at MAR_T_HALL13.
and we will see y'all next week. Peace and blessings. We love y'all.